Sometimes all I think about is you, babe.
Hey, it's your girl, Emily Curl, and today we're talking about the song and music video, Heat Waves. We have Dave from Glass Animals here, and we have the director of the video, Colin Read. Hi, guys.
Hey.
First off, congrats. The song is so good, and the video is equally as cool. I'm excited to break it down with you guys.
Oh, thanks. I'm excited. I'm really excited. I think this is the funnest video I've ever filmed. It was amazing. So thank you, Colin, for making it all possible.
Well, once again, thank you guys for doing all the work, because I was just hiding behind various computer screens on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean. So
yeah, it was completely remote. It's bonkers. COVID
at least this one was a little bit easier on you than the Dreamland video. So we have
a little.
At least
bit,
there was that saving grace.
There was a camera person.
Someone there for you. No, this is iHeart's Frame by Frame. So we're going to break down each frame individually. You're going to deconstruct key moments. And we want you guys to tell us what you used to get this shot, what went into it on set day. We're going to go through all of that. But before we dive in, tell me a little bit about this collaboration, with you, Dave, and you, Colin. How did this come about with you two working together?
How did it come about?
Well, it started with the Dreamland video.
The Dreamland video.
It was a meeting of fates. Rather than getting a brief, I just thought about, okay, well, video production is going to be on hold for a while. So what is a possible video that would be cool that could be made right now? So I kind of came up with the general frame of the do-it-yourself music video in an IKEA box video. And I just kind of wrote up a one-page generic brief that could be for anybody and just kind of sent it out via my production company people, like, hey, let's see if any artists might be into this. And then at the exact same time, Dave had and his team had sent over a brief looking for things using the same themes. And so instantly we were paired together, and it was kind of a great melding of the minds. And then from there, right after, it was, I guess you guys wanted another video, and people were basically allowed to go outside a little bit at that point. So
I was allowed my daily exercise.
Yeah, daily stroll. So we turned that into a music video, more or less.
Oh my God! Wow. Okay. I like that. Now, what did the production look like for this shoot?
It looked like, Colin, you were where? You were in Florida at the time?
Yeah, I was in Florida because I'd been down there when lockdown happened on another production that got shelved, and so there I remained.
I was in London.
Mm-hmm. And so Dave, who was on set with you? Was this like a really small crew?
It was, I guess I'd call it a skeleton crew. There was a props lady called Siobhan, who was very, very, very sweet, and a cameraman, and a couple of helpers for them. And I think that was it. And then, obviously, the rest of the camera personnel, who were my neighbours, because the whole video is filmed by my neighbours, the people like a couple streets down.
Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna ask about that too. I think we go ahead and dive in. I'm asking a lot of questions. Let's bring up our first frame and we'll break it down. Let's open up with the starting scene with the first frame. We want to set the scene here. Where was this shot at? Dave, you said this was your neighborhood?
Yeah, this is my neighborhood. It's quite a like cool neighborhood, East London. There's a lot of music studios, music venues, a lot of nightlife clubs and stuff, and people are just kind of generally up for doing stuff, and lots of like festivals happen out in East London. It's exciting. There's always stuff happening, and this is now peak lockdown, so these people are all trapped inside. These are the people who are normally out and doing stuff and going to gigs and turning up at shows, and me and Colin thought it'd be fun to bring the show to them a little bit.
Nice.
We knew that live music was going to be put on hold for quite some time, so the idea was to try to make a sort of one-time only performance for the neighborhood in the comfort of their own homes. So bring the music to them because they couldn't come to the music.
How did you decide on this street in particular?
This street is quite notorious in London. Ooh. I think I've seen other music videos filmed near it. I know the people who live on the street are very artistic. They close the whole street off once a year, and everyone, because they're all artists who live on that street, they put these amazing, they put all their art out on the street and hang it on the front of their houses and just open their front doors and people can go in, and just crazy sculptures. There was all sorts of crazy stuff going on, things hanging from from the bridge, as you can see, and there's a music studio right under that bridge as well that is owned by this really cult band called Throbbing Gristle.
So this is a cool street. Okay,
this is a cool street. We knew they'd be up for it, and we put a bunch of pieces of paper through the mail slots that said basically, this crazy kid is going to be at the bottom of the street with a wheelbarrow full of televisions at 7:00 on Wednesday. Film him with your phone.
So now this is my other question. Was this a one-day shoot to get this part of the video? Like you were just like, today only we're shooting this and we're getting all the shots here?
Yeah, the whole video was a one-day shoot.
The whole thing? Mm-hmm. Even the other location?
Yeah. And the whole thing was one day, and this was all shot on the street. We shot several walkthroughs down the street, but it was all within the little magic hour period where it's some nice light in the early evening. Yeah, luckily, as Dave said, we sent some people through ahead of time to put the slips in the mailers and to try to rustle up to see how many people would be interested. And luckily, as you can tell, along the entire street, the whole neighborhood was down. Everyone was down. So we got a lot of extra camera operators for us.
Now let's jump ahead to our next frame. This is the first one that really caught my eye. We have this cool zoom in jump moment. And before we talk about that, Colin, for you, what camera were you using for this shoot, or was the crew using for this shoot?
Well, this was an Alexa Mini. It's an RE Alexa Mini. And for this shot, we had just a really long zoom. I'm not entirely, I think maybe it was a 24 to 200. But it's a practical zoom in camera. And in fact, about this shot was something that we kind of arrived at on the spot, because I was obviously over here watching the stream from the monitors. And we were originally planning for it to be sort of like a really low pushing in zoom to find him at the start of the video. But when the assistant camera was working on finding his focus and zooming in to find the right place, he just, to get to the other side of the street, he just did one of those smash zooms in. And I said, oh, that's it. We're doing that.
Oh, it's so cool. I actually thought this might have been done in post. I was like,
that's real. Just a
that's cool.
big bazooka zoom lens.
Now, Dave, my question for you too is, how many times did you have to walk up and down this street? Do you even know at this point?
I mean, at the beginning of the video, I didn't know how many times we were going to do it. I knew we had limited light left in the day. I think we arrived at the street at it was already pushing 6 p.m. at that point, and there's probably maximum an hour's light left. And also, I have to admit, the wheelbarrow was starting to look pretty. It was already, because we actually shot the live part of the kind of ending of the music video first.
Oh,
and the wheelbarrow gets a bit of a workout there. And it was already struggling, I'll be honest. It was starting to disintegrate.
We actually had a note of that because there was a couple moments when you were going over the speed bumps and we were like, is the wheelbarrow steady? Is it a stable prop?
It was precarious. Because those are really big, heavy TVs stacked on there.
Yeah, it was. Okay. They were real TVs. That was real stuff. And we had some very close calls.
Yeah, some PAs rushing in from off the side to help steady it. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, those PAs were stressed that day for sure. Now let's jump ahead to the next frame because we're gonna get into a few more of these details. Now that I realize that you used a lot of, I'm guessing you used a lot of iPhone footage, because this, to me, I thought this was a film camera up at this shot. What kind of camera was used here? Are we interspersing with the neighbors filming?
Yeah. Our actual, our main camera was the cinema camera, the Alexa Mini. Everything else is not only iPhones, but just whatever smartphones that people had. So I think that really helps give it kind of that vibe that it's a whole bunch of different people in their own homes, people with a bunch of different styles of life all coming together.
Yeah, because I was thinking this was you guys had set up in different locations in people's homes all around, but now you just have some really amazing neighbors that were down to help film part of it.
I think they were really bored as well at this point. They
didn't have anything else to do at that point. So.
Okay,
there
that's fair.
There was nowhere else for them to go. And at the they were just seeing what was going on in the street. And I think some people probably just what is going on? Should I be filming too? And then just started filming.
And now let's go back and talk about these TVs for a second. You mentioned that these are real TVs. I actually was thinking that maybe this was a prop. So this probably had to be really heavy for you, Dave, to carry up and down the street, right?
Super heavy. I got quite a serious workout, and we were basically cut off by the fact that the wheels gave out at the end. I think I don't know how many times I ended up walking down the street, maybe like 3 or something. You'll see at the end, I kind of turn the corner and literally at that moment, the wheels fall off. I wish we'd gotten that on camera, that last little bit.
And now let's jump ahead. We're starting to see more people in the shots. Again, we've already kind of touched on this. We're seeing that this is the other crew members. How much footage did you guys get from the neighbors? Was it a lot of videos that you had to sort through?
Oh yeah, it was a ton. It was a very big editing job because, I mean, in the end, I can't remember exactly how many people there were. I mean, I feel like it was like 40 or something people strung out along the entire street. And so what we had to do is kind of go, because he was playing the song on speakers hidden inside the cart. So it was just basically taking that and matching it to the part of the song it was, so we could make a giant assembly cut of all the different layers.
Wow.
And then from there, so it's basically, in the video editing world, it would be called a multicam edit. And so it was like a 50 camera multicam edit. So it was pretty complex, but ended up being really fun because we had all the options in the world. We should have done like, a Matrix bullet time rig where cameras are in 360 and zoom around them, but maybe that'll be the sequel.
The next time.
Yeah, next time.
Now, one neighbor shot I want to talk about in particular was this next frame that we have for you, this cool sweeping shot from the window. I was assuming that this was maybe some sort of dolly that you guys had used on set, but is this someone else actually shooting this?
Yeah, those are just roommates or two different people with different phones filming at the same time. I can take no credit for any of the cool angles here. This is all the people and up to them. So all the different cool fun angles, it's all them.
I really thought y'all were hopping around apartments. Okay, so let's jump ahead. We have this cool jump shot that we see. And where are we seeing in this other frame?
That must have been right before the wheels fell off at the end of the street.
Oh, this was?
Yeah, and again, can take zero credit for this. This was just someone in their house filming their security camera of their door, all up to the ingenuity of Dave's neighbors.
Let's jump to our next frame. We got to talk about the Glass Animals bus. How many times did you have to try to get this bus to go by to get the right shot here? Was this?
Well, this was the main part of the budget, went into hiring the bus and getting the driver. Yeah, no, this is movie magic actually.
What?
Yeah, this was movie magic and a happy accident.
No way.
A bus happened to. Right, this is that last take we just mentioned that Dave turned the corner right as the wheels fell off. The very last take, and a bus happened to drive by, and
oh my God, you filmed me.
And we thought, what, this would be a great place for an ad for the album. So,
Dave, I was wondering why you laughed when the shot first came on. Let's jump ahead, and now let's talk about the theater shots, which is so cool. Now we're realizing shot on the same day. Where is this location?
This is a place called Hackney Earth, which is just kind of my relatively local venue. I've seen loads of shows here. It's kind of like a almost community center vibe, and it's usually completely rammed full of people. There's something happening every hour of every day, and it's absolutely beautiful and a kind of staple of Hackney culture. Yeah,
I feel like Dave too, this is like a nod to your neighborhood. Like to have that definitely. Influential street and then this, it's so cool.
Yeah, this is a love letter to Hackney and the people of Hackney.
And now let's jump ahead where we see the rest of the band come on the screens. Now for this, walk me through how you guys got these shots. For one, was the band actually on the screen, or is this something that's done in post?
No, that's that was really on the screen. And
really?
Well, again, so this was a time still in full lockdown where people and households were unable to get together. And I know part of the frustration for Dave and the guys is that, they were unable to get together and actually play music together. I thought it'd be really interesting if we could, since we've just seen in the previous scenes of all the people filming from their own homes, we can make another version of how people continue to enjoy music together. And this is kind of what we arrived with. For this, we did a remote shoot of each of them, where it was Shaban, who was the art director that Dave mentioned earlier, and I, on a Zoom call with each of the guys in turn, to help them make their little miniature set within their own apartments, and had them record a couple different takes of the song in different framings and different sizes. And then from there, we timed it all up and and then just really played them. So yeah, there's no VFX involved here. It's really just Dave jamming along with his TV and prison friends.
Well, actually, that's perfect timing because we have a couple special guests here with us now. They're going to join our Zoom. We have the band coming in. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hey, guys.
How are you guys? Good?
Yeah, really good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Now, we were just going through a few frames on the Heatwaves music video, which, by the way, guys, it's so sick. We were actually just talking about y'all on screen shooting these sets, which for you guys, what was this shoot like? And what was it like, creatively for all you?
It was just like this.
Yeah, this is basically it.
Now, we have a few more frames to go through at the end. I want to jump ahead. One of my favorite frames, we kind of see the ending, the culmination, the beat drops. The lights come on. Dave, you have this perfect twist moment. How many times did it take to get this shot exactly how you wanted it?
Because we only had one camera, so we had to get the different angles. We had to do a couple of shots, but really we had to work pretty quick.
Yeah, Dave's a master showman, so he had this pretty dialed. I think it took 2 or 3 cues for us to get the lighting to all come up at the right time. Spin wise, Dave was on point.
This video was
I really
good.
I went for it.
Now, creatively, for all of you, for the direction of the video, what made you want to go this direction again? As we see this start, we have the TVs in your neighborhood, Dave, and then we're going over here and we see this sort of culmination of this theater that you love. Why the creative choices for this video?
I think we kind of had the video. Colin suggested this video of people kind of filming from their windows and us, maybe performing somehow to people in their homes because we can't bring people to a performance. And then I guess I felt we just wanted something at the end to really like pull people's heartstrings, and we spent a while trying to think of what's the saddest thing in the world. And I think it might have been this performance. I think Joe mentioned it. Maybe walking into an empty, completely abandoned, dusty, decrepit venue. That should be the high point of all. All human joy and it just being barren.
As 2021 is opening up and things are looking more hopeful, do you guys have some shows scheduled? Are you going to be playing live soon? What can we expect?
We've got something.
We've got a tour of the UK that's already been announced, which is very exciting. But that's
so exciting.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing. And we might have some other stuff. Yes, we're trying to work it out.
Can't say.
There's more.
You can't say? How are you going to tease us like that? You might have some other stuff. Come on.
Hang tight. There's news coming very soon. And I'm really excited. It's going to be so good.
So exciting. Now, how do you prepare to go on tour again after, having that time off? Does the preparation change from past tours?
Learn how to play some new music.
Yeah, we have new music to play, new songs. We have quite a lot of time for that now. So we're going to work out coordinated dance routines, maybe.
Do some more of those spins, Dave?
Definitely some more spins. Yeah, I don't know. We've got time. We can think up some crazy sets.
For all of you, as you walk on stage for that first show, what are you going to feel for that? Like, are you going to be emotional? Are you nervous? Are you excited? Have you made it that far yet?
I think probably all of those things.
All of those things. I'm always super nervous for the first show of a tour. I don't know why. I always get really nervous, get big butterflies, and then that wears off over the course of the first couple of shows. So I'm gonna be trembling backstage.
Are there any pre-show rituals?
There's one.
There's one.
Ritual.
There's one.
Let's hear it.
Pretty weird.
Performance by our tour manager. Our tour manager gives us a rap every day, which he writes that day, it was designed originally to be a sort of a pep talk, as in like push us out on stage and for us to all be like really pumped. But it's sort of become more about him now than about us.
So he raps about himself to fire you guys up?
It's great. I love it.
When's his music video coming?
Well, exactly. I mean,
Colin, are you ready for that?
Yeah, let's get this. Time to make a rap video, guys. Come on, let's get it.
Okay, well, before we let you guys go, we did want to end on one last frame. Dave, we had to show off these dance moves that were amazing.
Oh, wow. That was done. So that was done in post.
Yeah, that part is CGI.
Great work, Colin.
That part's CGI.
Glass Animals, thank you guys so much for being here. Colin, thank you so much for walking us through all the frames. The video out now has over 21 million views, which is incredible. So for everyone watching, if you haven't checked out Heat Waves, go watch it. Again, thank you guys. So nice to meet y'all. So nice to see you, and can't wait for all the new stuff. And can't wait to see y'all in person next time.
Thanks so much for having us. Thanks.
Of course. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much for watching our frame by frame for Heat Waves by Glass Animals. And make sure you go check out the music video now and stream all of Glass Animals music on iHeartRadio. We'll see you next time. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Did you like that video? You can check out more over here. And don't forget to subscribe to iHeart right here. And if you're already a longtime fan, make sure you ring the bell down below so you don't miss a single video. Bye guys.